Computer skills. The way we'll be set up, there'll be probably a little bit of time lecture, then students will go right into the lab. They'll be working on the computers, the same kind of computer labs they work during the school year. So they'll get to immediately try out what they've just learned. And all of these classes will have we call them facilitators in them. So students will be there to also help out, as well as the instructors as they're trying these things, working through them. There'll be students there to help them and that they can ask questions to as well. The 3 to 4:30 slot, as you see, it's kind of split. There's a couple days a week where it's technical communications. That class just meets 2 days a week. Pathways to Success will meet 1 day a week. So sometimes there's days in there where the 3 to 4:30 slot for any given student is also free. On Fridays, that's when we bring in a lot of the different kinds of campus resources. And it can be all kinds of things. People from the financial aid office, they do presentations so you can start getting more information about financial aid. People from the Advising Center, people from the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program, people from the Comprehensive Studies Program. There's a lot of these different support services around campus. We just want to make sure students know these different services and can match a face and a name with an office. And then usually in the afternoon is when we have our career corners. That's when the corporate representatives come in and meet with students. And oftentimes we've seen students that they start connecting with some of these corporate reps early on, and it can lead into things down the road, internships and so on. So that's a real valuable resource for the students. In the evenings, Monday through Thursday, is study time. Okay, so we have it set up on our schedule where there's a designated time and place. We use if you've been up on North Campus, the Duderstadt Center, which is where most engineering students study. There's computer facilities there, there's study tables. So students do spend a certain amount of time studying every evening. That's where we have our facilitators there to help out. Sometimes instructors are there also to help out. And it really kind of gets students into that idea that it's going to be every night. There's going to be studying every night. It's going to be that way during the academic year. We want to get you started on that during the summer. So typically, the study time, the tutoring, takes place from 8 to 10 every night. And then a couple times a week, students might be in one of the supplemental instruction sessions, which runs from 6:30 to 8. We have then, as part of this program, and you'd probably find this true of summer programs across the country, we do require students to be back in the residence hall at a particular time. All of our students will be living in Bates Residence Hall on North Campus. And as a program policy guideline, students must be back in the residence hall by midnight. So now I can always sense this. I always see students, what? I have to be back in my room by midnight? So, and the parents, on the other hand, are probably pretty happy about this because they don't want students running around at night all over Ann Arbor. But do understand, we must do this. You are not enrolled students in the summer, and so we have the liability concerns. We are responsible for all the students in our program, and we take the safety and security of the students very, very seriously. That's one of our very top priorities in this summer program. So we do have a staff of students who are residential advisors in the residence hall living with the MSTEM students. And we check, make sure students are all there at midnight, and that's a very important rule. Also, even on Saturdays and Sundays, we'll have different kinds of activities. We might have activities that take us away from campus, but many times we'll even have some activities right here on campus. But there's a number of things that we do on weekends. So the program is structured the entire 6 weeks. We do require students to be on campus in the program the entire 6 weeks. There is a weekend home, the July 4th weekend, which actually is a 3-day weekend. Monday is the university holiday of that weekend. So on that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, students would leave Friday at after 5 p.m., and they would have to be back on that Monday, July 5th, by 5 p.m. But outside of that, this program does require students to be on campus the whole time, and we do structure things on weekends. As you heard Professor Tony England say, programs like this, by their very nature, they require a certain amount of sacrifice, and that is one of the sacrifices. But we want it to pay off in the long run, and so that's, we structure a lot of things into this program that we need to accomplish. If you notice in the blue folder, we put in here there's a stapled set, which is the schedule from last summer. So as you're looking at these materials later, you can see sort of what I've just described here is in detail in a full 6-week schedule here, the kinds of activities that happen. It'll be slightly different this summer, but not a lot different. So that does give you an idea of what the day-to-day, hour-to-hour activities would look like. So let me just go through what you are really sort of committing to if you decide to apply and be accepted and participate in the Academy. There is a sheet in here. It's called the 2010 Michigan STEM Academy Participant Agreement, and that has all the details. I'm going to highlight a few of the things on here. This actually is most of them, but that agreement is one that you, the student, and the parent would sign upon participating in the program. So it starts out by saying that you'd fully participate in the summer program during those dates we just talked about. And we know we've actually been running summer programs for about 20 to 25 years. And we know there's a lot of things that come up in the summer. And to be fair to everybody, our policy has to be that we cannot allow students to leave during the program for other reasons. So we really do say no other exceptions, and it really is one out of fairness, because we don't want to try and make a determination about this activity is more important than this one. So our policy is this, and it also has to do with the fact that this is not the only summer program we have. We have a lot of different summer programs operating on campus, and we really have to be able to know where students are, and we don't have enough staff to accommodate students coming and going all the time. So we really do have this policy, and it really cannot be changed. In the summer program, students must attend all classes and activities. Okay, so we do expect that. I mean, we expect that during the academic year as well, but students do, they make their choices in the academic year. In the summer, we really do need students to attend all of these. All of our classes will be on North Campus, except one of them will be on Central Campus. So as Cinda Davis was talking about, there will be times when students are taking buses to Central Campus to get to a particular class. We will have some activities going on in Central Campus, so we will be doing some things on Central Campus as well, but for the most part, students are on North Campus. We don't allow students to bring cars or bikes to campus during the summer program. And as we said, we do need students to abide by the guideline of being in the residence hall by midnight at night. During the academic year, all M-STEM students reside in Burzley Residence Hall. Okay? So I know a few people asked a question. I can answer that actually right now. I know you're getting housing contracts now, so you should all choose whichever residence hall you would choose to live in during the school year. If you get admitted and decide to participate in M-STEM, then we would switch it to Burzley. So for now, you should choose whatever residence hall that you would like to live in. You don't necessarily live with another M-STEM student during the school year. You can still choose your own roommate if you get into M-STEM, assuming that roommate also wants to live in Burzley. But you do live in Burzley Residence Hall.